Here I will tell you a place I have visited, and in my opinion this is a historical place for Bajing people. Bungung Barania. It is a lucky wheel. This wheel during the colonial rule ago was very meaningful in crossing the invaders on the land of the Goa Kingdom. Even though it is hundreds of years old, its shape is still as original as it was before. Bungung Barania is used as a historical tourist attraction. In this place, the red and white flag was first raised on August 14, 1945, ahead of President Sukarno, order which was subset to be August 17, 1945. In the 15 years center ago, there was a king who ruled in Bantaing named Karaing Loe. Karaing Loe is very well liked by the people. According to his story, Karaing Loe was brave. He expanded his territory through war to conquer Pulau Takalar. Feeling suitable for the conquered area in Pulau finally, the king decided to move to Bajing Pulau. In Bajing, Karaing Loe and his followers traveled around until finally they came to a village, called the village of Mata Alua. In that place, Karaing Loe and his followers were thirsty, but there was no water source at all. Karaing Loe got the information of the almighty, so that the stick he was holding was plunged into the ground. When the stick was dug in the ground, it formed a big hole, and from it came a spirit. Karaing Loe and his followers, who were already feeling thirsty, took advantage of the water source, and some took a bath. After Karaing Loe and his followers drained or bathed in the water of the well, suddenly a feeling of courage and strength arose in him, which he had never had before. The victim spirit of all the soldiers was getting hotter. Because the whale has supernatural powers, that is, when the water is drunk, courage arises. So, at the time, the whale was called Bungung Barania, meaning that if you drink and bathe in the well, courage will arise. Seeing the wonders of Bungung Barania, Karaing Loe moved the royal place from Pulau to Bajing Goa, which is known now as Bala Lumpuari Bajing. The distance from the new palace of Kebungung Barania is about 1 kilometer. Bungung Barania is a place for Karaing Loe and his soldiers to strategize before attacking the enemy. Since Karaing Loe came to power in Bajing, it was very difficult for his enemies to conquer. This is because in addition to having a lucky wheel, he also has a powerful weapon. His name is Ibule. The magic of Ibule is able to detect enemies from wherever they come. So even if Ibule is direction to the east, but the enemy is from the west, then Ibule quickly turns back to attack his enemy. After attacking and killing the enemy, Ibule returned to her original position. It was customary for Karaing Loe and his soldiers, before leaving for the battlefield, to first bathe and drink in the lucky well. After all soldiers saluted, a royal ceremony was held while raising the Jolly Jolia flag. The Jolly Jolia flag also has special features because it can detect the success or failure of soldiers before leaving for the battlefield to find out whether the soldiers wins or loses on the battlefield later. It can be seen from the way the Jolly Jolia flag is flying. If the Jolly Jolias fly against the direction of the wind, it means that victory is on the side of the Bajing soldiers. But if you go with the flow of the wind, it means the fate is on his side. It is said that in ancient time, between the kingdoms of Goa and Bajing were still separate. so that Goa often expanded to Beijing. But every Goa soldiers made an attack that always failed because of Ebola and the courage of the Beijing soldiers. As a result of this defeat, the kingdom of Goa tried to find out what the secret movement of Karaing Loe rebadging was. It was heard by one of his soldiers that the stage of the Bajing lies in his weapon and Bungung Barani.